Hey, welcome to Waking Up to Win.
I'm Annie.
And I'm Chad.
And this is your space for real estate motivation, mindset, and the kind of coaching that pushes you from stuck to a top producer.
We are all about helping agents work on their business, not just run ragged in it.
And we believe there is more than enough room at the top for everyone to win.
Let's dive in.
Hi, Chad.
Hello.
We're back.
I know, for another fantastical week.
Yeah. Are you ready for my words of wisdom for the week?
Yeah.
This is inspired by our upcoming momentum meeting. And now I'm probably going to misquote it.
It's all right. I'll make fun of you if you do.
I know. but as we talk about your goals or whatever you want to achieve in your business, is today...
Which, for those listening, is the point of the momentum meeting.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. The quote is, are you going to do that one day, or is today day one?
I like that.
Because so many times what we talk about right now is agents are looking at whatever it is. I should just say people in general. If you haven't lost the weight you wanted to lose, or you haven't paid off the debt, or you haven't built your business, you're like, it's October. I'm just going to wait till January, and then I'm going to start again. You know,
I'm going to do that one day.
Today is day one. You can make a difference today. You have 90 days left of the year? So.
Yeah, I think that's a quarter. 3 months, right?
Ish. Today the 2nd.
Oh, well, today's the 2nd.
So make today day one. Don't put it off till one day.
Yeah, and you put it on. That goes along with that other saying that I always think to myself: "There's always tomorrow, but tomorrow never comes." There's some saying like that, like.
Scarlett O'Hara said,
"Isn't it funny?
I won't worry about that today. I'll worry about that tomorrow."
But then it's like tomorrow never comes.
Right.
Because it doesn't. Tomorrow never comes.
Never.
It's always tomorrow. And if you wait until tomorrow, it'll never come.
That's right. I think Nike said it best.
Just do it.
All right. That's all I got.
Flashbacks. What else is going on with you this week?
Showing houses.
Personal life. You got nothing exciting
going on
in your personal life?
Lots of weddings. This is wedding season.
It is wedding season.
This weekend coming up, I have 2 wedding showers. And in October, I have 3 weddings.
My.
3 weddings.
You know what weddings are good for? Finding clients.
Oh. I was like, yeah, everything's good for that, right?
Well, that's true. That's true. As long as you go to it.
Oh, okay.
You have to go.
I'm going.
To them.
You know me. I go.
Oh, I know. I went to a wedding with you when was that? A couple months ago. One of our clients invited.
I love weddings. Weddings are happy.
They are.
Funerals, not so much. You can find clients there too, though. Am I wrong?
It's true. No, you're not wrong. Not wrong. You can find clients anywhere you go if you got the right mindset.
Casino.
If today is day one,
right.
You can find a client wherever you're at.
Hey, one time I was getting phones, and I was getting all of us new phones, and there were like 12 of us on my phone plan, and I sold him a house.
You did? First one he looked at, too.
He said something about, are you going to get a new phone for, I don't know, the kids? And I go, I'll get all these new phones if you buy a house. And he said, I do need to buy a house.
Yeah.
They've been a client 3 times for us.
Is it 3 times?
A buy, a sell. Oh, well, I helped him rent.
I was
ish. They got the house.
I don't think it counts as 3 times.
Then they got divorced.
A purchase together and then each of them separately.
Well, yes, it does.
I guess it does. Counts as 4.
Yep. So what else is going on? What about you?
I don't know. I'm moving tomorrow. Back to St. Charles County, ladies and gentlemen.
Less than a year. This is the record.
9 months or 11 months. I mean, almost to the day.
And do you know what
we closed on November 4th last year when we moved to St. Clair, and now we're closing October 2nd.
And do you know what I haven't said?
What?
What have I not said?
Told you so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's all right. I think you have said that.
It's been inferred.
I was going to say, I feel like you've said that to me. Maybe not in those exact words, but you and everybody else is like, told
we
you
all
so.
saw it coming.
I know, but I had to. Sometimes when you have a husband and Sometimes when your business partner wants to try something or do something, you just have to try to do it.
I'm aware.
Exactly. So we tried. It did not go well. We did
Hey,
not
but I
like
had
it.
a really good boss back in my corporate days that would say, successful people fail faster.
It's true.
So if you know you made a mistake, move on. You
Right.
don't have to live and die in that mistake because you don't want to be wrong.
100%. I wish that I would have thought of that in a conversation I was having last night because I would have said it.
Well, now you can go back and say it tonight at dinner.
I don't know. We'll see. So, anyways, yeah. So it's going to be a great week. Lots of happenings in real estate this week. So that's exciting. Can't wait to dive in.
All right, what you got?
What is going on in real estate? All right, here is the housing market headlines for the week. The Federal Reserve holds interest rates steady, but signals future hikes still possible. So I know, but they're boring.
Do we
I
have
don't know what to
any
tell
headline
you.
besides this?
Mortgage rates continue to hover near 2-decade highs. Existing home sales decline for the 7th consecutive month. Home price growth continues to moderate, but prices remain high, and housing starts and building permits see a surprise increase. So despite all of that, the builders are building more houses.
I have found that to be true with our clients.
That's interesting.
We currently have 3 clients under contract with new construction, and I don't know that we had that many last year total.
I don't remember, but it is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that is?
For ours, all 3 of our clients, that was not even their initial plan. It's just they couldn't find what they wanted in their price point, and so the new build seemed to be the option.
Huh. Interesting. Well, that's the update on the market
Yeah,
and the
I'm bored with
headlines.
that.
I mean, like, it's
We're
been
gonna have to-
relatively
yeah.
steady, which is good. Like, I think that you can take that out of it as relatively steady. So, headlines for the industry. You ready?
Ready?
CoStar Group announces acquisition of Matterport. Do you know what those are?
Mm-mm.
Okay, Matterport
I know
is...
it. Go ahead.
You know what is?
CoStar.
Okay. A Matterport is the 3D scanning
Oh.
tool, the app that you can, so you can go on and as an agent, you sign up for Matterport and they send you the
Oh,
camera thing and
yeah.
then you can have 3D walkthroughs of your listings. And what is CoStar Group
I have people for that.
for the kids?
I don't know.
It's a commercial real estate data giant. So they own several MLSs. They have, I think Homes.com platform runs off of CoStar's technology.
I know I
It's a
see
tech
it.
company. Yeah. They own websites like apartments.com, homes.com. Like I said, I'm pretty sure homes.com is owned by CoStar Group. Yeah. Aaron, our producer, is validating what I'm saying here as fact. So that's a big deal, though. They have that tech now in their little thing. CoStar is like, so 2 years ago, I was talking to somebody and they're like, CoStar's trying to take over the MLS space. So they're over here on the sidelines betting on Zillow and Compass's battle failing or putting Zillow under, and then they're going to become, that is their whole
Goal.
idea. Yeah. Realtor.com parent company Move Inc. announces a leadership shakeup. So Realtor.com has a new CEO that is aiming to steer the portal in a new strategic direction amidst fierce competition from Zillow in a rapidly evolving digital landscape. Obviously, Realtor.com. I don't know why that never gets anywhere. This is actually a pretty good app, I think. Mikey, my husband, you know him.
I do.
Mikey,
You used to always give me trouble for saying stuff like
I know,
that.
which I just gave myself trouble for saying it.
I wouldn't have caught it if you'd have just kept talking.
Mikey prefers Realtor.com over Zillow. He's a little weird, but you know,
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, they're trying. NAR is still in the midst of ongoing commission lawsuits. I don't know whether we have talked about that at all
We have
either.
not.
But so the seller we talk about that a lot, instigated all the changes, all the new paperwork or whatever. Well, the same law firm put a group of buyers together that is now suing them on behalf of buyers. So I don't think it's as much because it's the exact same thing, just on the other side of the transaction. So everything we've already done in the first settlement is squashing any legit. That doesn't mean that they're still not going to pay them off, because that's what they did at the other one, but probably not going to result in any changes.
I wouldn't think so.
So, but it's out there. Who knows? You could take like a
Oh,
major
Lord.
brokerages focus on AI integration and agent training and tools. So EXP and Keller Williams make headlines this week for announcing enhanced artificial intelligence features in their agent-facing technology platforms. I feel like they're years behind. We've had that shit in our platforms for like
Right?
a year now.
It does seem old
They put in
news.
our one creative studio, they have the AI chat, it's tied to GPT. And then they have like, I don't know, they've got all kinds of AI in our shit now. It's been for a while.
What's the last one? I hope it's good.
Venture capital investment in prop tech shows signs of rebound. So, after a slowdown in the first half of the year, new industry analysis released this week indicated a modest rebound in venture capital funding for prop tech startups in the third quarter. The report highlighted a renewed investor interest in companies focused on sustainability and energy efficiency in buildings, as well as those providing solutions for the mortgage and closing process. So, looks like Wall Street is jumping behind technologicalizing. What is that word? That
I
I'm
don't think
trying
that
to
was it.
What is that word?
I
What
don't
would
know.
that be? Like inserting technology into closings.
Yeah.
That's exciting to me, because like
It's archaic.
it's the only thing I ever write on anymore
Right.
is a closing document. Like, it's obnoxious.
Right.
So that, and we can't do e-notaries or anything like that. So that'll be cool. There's title companies out there that still send you a paper TRID form.
I know.
I can't handle it.
All the way to it made me think of my last flight. I got on an airplane without an ID or anything. Just this eyeball got me on the plane.
Yeah, clear.com. Yeah. So that's that.
I mean, like, it's
stuff.
the technology's there.
Yeah.
You don't need some old notary looking at my license and filling out a paper book. Just scan my eyeball.
Just scan my eyeball. It's so funny because we think about that like that sounds so crazy, but that is like
The notary thing is
Star Trek shit.
right, but it's here.
I know. When do you think
And it
I'm gonna
was
be able
wonderful.
to teleport? It is, so I don't have to worry about keeping track of my driver's license or my passport or none of that shit going through with Clear. And of course, we have to pay for it because that's how everything works.
It just
but
renewed too and went up.
did it?
It was worth every bit of that $600 a year.
$600?
I think it was maybe 500.
No.
Yeah. Oh yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
How much?
No.
How much you want to bet?
I'm gonna look it up. How much are we
I
putting
can look
on
at it in
this?
my bank account because I just paid it.
How much? You didn't pay $600 for Clear.
I think I paid $498.
Did not promise.
Oh, promise I did.
Nope. $209
Nope.
per year. Yes.
There's an upgrade to it.
I just
then.
paid it myself.
Oh, maybe I have the family plan.
Grandma bougie over here. That's the problem. She got to paying, but you're paying for your 40-year-old kid's Clear subscription.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's $125 per additional
Well, how many did I pay for
family
then?
member.
Because I paid like $500. I paid for two
So
more people.
that would make sense. 210 plus 250 would be
Well, and there you have it.
$459.
There you have it.
I'm just there. You see how you're transitioning right past the most important part of this. I won the bet. You make it such a big deal when I lose the bet. How come when I win the bet, you're not like, oh, you won. Good job.
Well, you should have put some money behind it.
She didn't bet an amount of money because she was worried about losing. She knew she wasn't right from the get-go.
And Chad owes me $10,000 from previous bets that I've yet to collect. Now it's $9,000.
You know what?
I'll give you $1,000 for that.
Do you want to know what else happened in
I honestly
the
don't.
news this week?
Nope, I'm done.
No, this is a big one because Zillow is really gonna. I'm starting to feel bad for Zillow. They're gonna have a hard time coming out of this.
You aren't feeling bad for Zillow.
No, I find it fascinating. But
Okay.
the FTC, you know what that
Federal
is?
Trade Commission.
Good job. is suing Zillow. Now, they filed a lawsuit last week. That was a headline I saw. It probably hasn't made big news yet because they're
For?
still in that
Suing
thing.
them for?
Antitrust violations.
Wow.
So anti-competitive behavior. They made a deal with Redfin several years ago where they paid Redfin $100 million to get
100 million?
get their data from Zillow instead of the MLSs.
Wow.
So Zillow's going to have them. They're going to get drowned.
They're having a rough year.
Yeah, they're going to get drowned, I feel like. I don't know. I need to go look at the actual numbers. I wonder what their stock is doing because those people are smarter than me. I'm curious now. I'm going to look that up later. All right, it's a slow week in real estate news. Sorry.
What could possibly go wrong?
What happened this weekend that you learned something from?
Well, I don't know that I learned something from. I just have another frustration that I wish other people would learn something from. What does it mean when I have a buyer and we're going to go look at houses and the agent has in their remarks, seller is selling this house as is. What does that mean to you?
It means that the agent has no idea what they're doing. That's what it means to me.
Or maybe like 1 out of every 100,000 people, it really means they're selling their house as is.
But it's, yeah. I know we're going to get down the rabbit hole.
Okay.
What I mean when I say that
What do you
is
mean?
every house in Missouri is sold as is. It's
Yeah.
a legal concept. Stop saying it.
Right. So every time I see that, I have to call. I call anyway, so I shouldn't say that. I call an agent before I show the house. But then I have to say, so I see in your remarks that your seller wants to sell their house. Wants to sell their house as is. Can you tell me more about that? And then 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100, oh, they just don't want to make any repairs, but they're open to giving you a monetary reimbursement or reducing the price or whatever. They just don't really want to fix anything or they're not capable of fixing anything. Okay, realtors.
Listen, school is in session.
It is actually a legal part of the contract. When you say you're selling a house as is, you are actually putting the buyer on notice that how the house is, the condition and everything in the house.
The day that they take possession,
That is what they agreed to.
that is as is.
They're not warranting anything. They're not. It doesn't mean they don't have to still disclose. They still have to disclose. But they're telling you.
But it's every house in Missouri. The law stipulates that in Missouri, it's buyer beware. Caveat emptor. It's a legal precedent in real estate law.
Right.
When a buyer buys a house, they're buying the house as is.
Now,
That's why
you can have an inspection contingency.
we invented an inspection contingency.
Yes. And so, but if you are really wanting to say that, so maybe you know that the deck is falling off the back. Or maybe you know that the septic system is bad.
Yes.
So tell me that.
Right.
Tell me, my seller knows that the septic system needs to be replaced and we're not going to fix it. We're selling that in the condition it's in. We just want you to know that up front. So you don't try to get in contract and negotiate that.
Right.
It's always something like that shows
Which we have an ethical obligation to disclose, and so does the seller, really. They don't have a legal obligation to disclose that, but they have an ethical obligation to disclose that because it's an adverse material defect in the house. And that it affects the value negatively. But the part that gets me always is people stop trying to preempt the process. That's what they're doing, right? You're trying to preempt the process and go before the buyer comes in and does their inspections. You're trying to sell a story up front and say all those things, and stop doing that. It causes problems. Actually had the same situation when we had an inspection contingency and the buyer made an inspection notice and asked for specific things to be done in a specific manner by a specific person because they were, and that's part of the process. This buyer cares about who works on their future home.
Right.
And the seller went and fixed everything themselves, thinking, oh, well, I'll just fix it. Now it's fixed, whatever. And then they sent back a counteroffer because they weren't going to fix everything. And in the counteroffer, they told us that they did that. Well, the buyer was fine with that. And now we have to ask them to undo what they did and have that specific person out to do it. And the agent's mad at me. I'm representing the buyer here. The agent's mad at me. First of all, it's not me. I'm just representing my client. Second of all, Zach could probably present it better, but it's not me. The desire is not mine. Right. It's my client's desire. If I'm being totally honest with you, if it was my house, couldn't care less whether the seller fixed the things that we asked her to fix, but the buyer does. So it doesn't matter. It's not me. The second thing is, don't be mad at me because your client went rogue and preempted the process.
And again, this is to our
same thing our
earlier conversation. The real estate agent in their presentation to say, okay, we got this inspection notice back. Now, don't go fixing anything. We're negotiating. Because we have a lot of clients.
Or the same thing with as is. The seller says to you, I don't want to fix anything, and you don't take the time to explain the process.
Right.
I think when you have that, and we don't ever write that in there, to your point, if we have a deck that needs repaired, we write, the deck needs to repair. The seller is not willing to repair the deck, because you should know that up front, because I don't want to waste my time.
No.
And so that's fine. But to say
all about making sure that your client knows all the facts.
Right.
It's their contract, it's their deal, none of it's yours, and you're not giving them all the information.
Well, then I love people that say as is too in an area that requires a municipality occupancy.
Right.
But you don't have a price for an investor. It's priced at market value. But you're selling it as is, and no inspections on special sales costs.
That's what I'm going to say, right?
Why would my buyer give up the obligation of the seller to do? And in some municipalities, regardless of what the contract says, the seller still has to legally do it.
I think that so many people got licensed during the golden year, the golden 18 months, and it was not unheard of, and that now people they either didn't learn before or they forgot.
Yeah. It is frustrating. Be specific when you say
I
things and write things.
I have people give up things like that on the contract when they're the only offer. I mean, we could go on and on.
I know. So, yeah, that is a big learning curve for sure. Be specific. That's what I always say to people. Be specific. That's specific.
Right.
But I don't know that most people know how to be specific.
Set the expectation for your client of what is required of them and what decision they're going to have to make and what all the facts are. That's really all it is. It's super simple.
I know.
Preaching to the choir.
I literally could have lost my shit when she started yelling at me because her seller freaking did shit he didn't. I mean, that's not my problem.
But I think of so many of our clients that if we wouldn't preface it once that happened,
they'll do it.
Of course they would.
100% they do.
So it's the real estate agent's fault that their client went. Maybe. I guess we don't know that. Maybe she said, no.
Right. I'm going to do it anyways, and that may be the case. So,
right.
Which goes to a conversation we've had before. Stop being rude. There's no reason to get frustrated and angry with me at all.
Right. We all want the same goal.
I'm freaking annoyed that your seller did what he did too, but I'm not over here yelling at you and,
Yeah, one client wants to buy the house and one client wants to sell the house. We're actually working for the same common goal.
Right, exactly.
It's a win-win.
It is. And you know how we love those.
It's not win-lose.
What the floop?
What the floop?
Are you ready for this? What the floop? Listen to this.
Am I ready?
I don't know whether you are.
Let me have it.
I think you are. It's actually kind of an old story, but Dustin Brom just posted a reaction to it, and I find it funny. So here you go.
Agents will hate hearing this, but buyer's agents should never give feedback after a showing, ever. I mean, only if they want to get sued and screw over their buyers. This story is freaking nuts. But agents need to pay attention. Shannon Gillette out in Queen Creek, Arizona, told this story on Instagram of this agent who got sued by their clients. But here's where it gets tricky. The buyer's agent told the seller something that made them mad. The agent just said that the house was overpriced and in poor condition. Well, apparently the sellers didn't appreciate that very much. A few days later, the buyers decided, oh, we do want to buy that house, and they decided to make an offer. The buyer made an offer below the listing price. The seller countered back at full asking price, and the buyers decided to accept it. Everything was good until the buyer asked for some repairs to be done after their inspection revealed some issues. The seller dug their feet in and said, nope, take it or leave it. Well, the buyer decided to take it, so they stayed in the deal. Everything was fine until closing. Apparently, at closing, the seller told the buyer why they'd been so difficult, and it was because of the buyer's negative feedback. Well, that came as a shock to the buyer. They didn't even know that any feedback had been given to the sellers by their agent. So the buyer decided to sue their agent for violating their fiduciary duties, and they won.
Wow.
I know, right?
I have a lot of thoughts.
Share.
I am very, very careful when I give feedback because of that. And I tell my buyers, hey, here's how this is going to happen. You know, after we do our showing, they like to get feedback. Is there anything that you would like to offer back to the seller that might help them sell their house? And it really needs to be something that they can control. Like, we don't need 50,000 people telling me my backyard's too small. And it's also not good to be insulting. So, like, I get it. I would never give feedback that was insulting. I've gotten feedback that's insulting, and it does piss you off.
Yeah, I do. I think that like like so many on both sides. Number one, like from the listing agent standpoint, that's what sticks out at me. Are you not filtering that shit?
Exactly. Well, that's the point.
Like if somebody
they don't
gives
have the
us
ability to filter it
feedback about the house that is not, it's irrelevant to the buyer's decision. You paraphrase the feedback. You say the layout wasn't for them, or why are you not making an offer? That's fine, but you don't. Yeah,
I've actually had listing agents ask me to give feedback, like to build their case, and I'm like, you don't need me to build your case. You need to be able to coach your client.
Well, and I do think that helps sometimes with the clients is getting that feedback. But again, and this is if you're asking it, but there's a way to give that feedback. But I think that, I mean, what that person got sued over was violating. The buyer didn't want them to give feedback.
Well, the buyer didn't even know.
That's what I
so
mean.
give the feedback on behalf of the buyer, or we have a place that you can write a comment and you can say, this is my opinion and this is my input as a fellow real estate professional for you. Take it, use it, whatever you want to do. Here's my thoughts. But you don't throw your buyer under the bus.
No, you don't have. Well, you don't throw anybody under the bus ever. Like,
and you
that's
also,
the part that I'm like, why would you do that?
There's also a question on most people's feedback that says, was it priced just right, too high, too low? Now, who's ever going to say too low? And then you want to make an offer.
Why would you say that?
I don't even know why it's an option.
I don't even know why people ask that question. I mean, like, it is fine. In your opinion, like, how did the price feel?
But even
it's
that,
fine. But like, you know, like when you were in the house, did it feel like it was the right price? Or was it overpriced? It's just such an irrelevant question. You're not wrong. It's really, I didn't understand that. And Zillow is the one that came up with the template for feedback that we use in our market because we use Showing Time, which is owned by Zillow. So, but those template questions are awful.
They can be changed. Because
I know. I'm just saying the template they are awful. We don't rely on it, to your point, because we actually coach our sellers.
Oh no! And if I get one that's super insulting, I don't send that on.
No, and that's you have the filtering ability. Like there's no
looks like I was in grandma's house, and she's 30.
Right.
Like, stupid.
Why do people write that?
I don't know.
I don't understand that. Anyways, stop the madness.
Do your jobs, agents.
I can't. I mean, like, yeah, it's giving feedback is like, what feedback would even be useful? Like, that's the part where I'm coming up now. I struggle to understand. I don't show houses that often, but I don't ever fill out feedback forms. Well, and I know there's a lot of listing agents and agents out there that'll be like, shame on you, fill out the feedback. And I'm like, why?
Well, let's use you. You've recently been a buyer.
Yeah.
And I would ask you the questions. And then you would say some things that were not very nice as a buyer.
Well, of course.
Not as a real estate professional.
They're my personal opinion.
But I did not pass along anything unless it was going to help the seller.
And even that, though, like my point is why is the expectation that we do that? Because it's not our job to help the seller.
I rarely do it. Now, when I have the seller, if I don't get it, I will call them
Now, yes.
and ask that. But I'd rather have the conversation with the other agent. Because if you've showed 10 houses, I don't know. I don't even always trust the feedback I get. But I'm going to call you and say, hey, you showed, listing on 123
Yeah.
Cherry Street. What'd you think? What'd they think? Or whatever questions you might have. So
I don't know.
we just all need to do our jobs.
Yeah, like I know my job is not to help your
Represent
seller.
your
my
buyer,
job is
if
to
that's
find
right.
my buyer a house.
That's
and
right.
if they have feedback that they want to give you, fine, I'll give it to you.
And we all
but-
have those buyers, but for God's sake, you tell them, don't say it in the house. Don't say it by the Ring
Right.
doorbell. And I'm not going to pass it along if it's insulting.
And if you're a listing agent and you're relying on your buyer's agents that are showing your house's feedback to make a plan for your seller,
Shame on you.
you should probably think about your life a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, I don't mean to be rude,
Agreed.
but oh,
All right. Well, I guess that's
been real.
a wrap.
it's been real.
Are we going to see you next week or are you going to be moving?
No, you'll see me next week. I mean, unless you really just want to do a solo episode. Do you want to
Sure.
do a solo episode?
Yes, because I love being on the camera by myself.
Okay.
No, we'll see
No.
you next week.
Okay. See you next week. All right. That's a wrap on another week of chaos, closings, and questionable decisions.
If this episode made you laugh, think, or text your real estate bestie like, girl, this is us, do us a favor.
Hit that subscribe button, leave a quick review, follow us on socials, or send us your own unhinged real estate stories. Seriously, we want to share them.
And hey, don't just survive this week. Get out there and build your business.
You've got everything it takes.
We'll be back next week with more chaos and more clarity.
Until then,
Keep waking up to win.